better get your hand out my pocket in my lecture. No El Haj Malik repeat, I betcha. Sergeant of the Moorish Unified Front toward Islam. Twist your arm like a blunt, won't spark it. But like Tiger Claw, debark it. Before anyone saw, not Cain, but I'm raw. Long live Iron Sheik, slaying the weak. Rhyming about rims, spinning on their Jeep. Making a mockery of the art and hard work. Put in by the veterans, now they gotta work. Guru in a coma, rap heart attack. I'm sure a premier beat would bring the guard back. Can't give it too much time in my rhyme, but I know mostly in rhyme they doing the crime. Build a ball court, a whack remedy. Living right around me is my worst enemy. I see that they look just like me. Award for hip hop when you're not an MC. Mastering the ceremony, very lonely. Rapping genuine, riding the beat ponies. Scrap the DJ and dancer like a phony. If you see me in some skinny jeans, you know they clone me. If you hear me rapping about crap, I'm B, so do me like Big L or J and smoke me. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. If you hear I killed Assistant Grand Sheik, just know they're trying to get me down the Drew Ali road. Release me into the hands of Moor's dirty, knowing that they conspire and wanna hurt me, offering me dishes with glass splinters, so they'll give me a rod, leave my jacket in the winter. Try to get me through she-cats with no weakness, don't get it twisted cause you see us speechless. I put more trust in Jupiter KTS than fake Moors with more records than JVS. Telling me they save, but just wanna be paid. Don't wanna pay dues, but be men that's made. Pushing like the travel, but don't defend. And only when backs against the wall they wanna befriend. That's why I watch no face and beg no friend, cause only Adam Chambers will be there in the end. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. Y'all so fly, no lie, so hot, I know this. Sniff your whack lines, you're so hopeless. Clones and drones, skull and boning, getting homes for a loan and rims chroming. Crap shooting, watermelon eating, mad cow, bird flu, chicken stealing, human raccoon running through daisies, selling out your race cause you're so lazy. Think you on a level when he owns your masters, and master is holding his guard in laughter. Thinking you're balling, not me you're fooling. Armchair revolutionaries cooning, hot like Mims, lynched from trees called Tims. Posing with your fat ass on covers of Maxim. Big fly eye shades under big brims. In some tight jeans you shouldn't wear, you're too slim. Can't stand your flow, we got me snoozing, drooling, falling asleep from your cooning. If I go to your show, it's me that's booing. Even if I may lay with my blood pooling. Go back to the essence with those old schooling. In the next realm I'm just keeping it moving. Don't need a whip, on comets I'm cruising. I'm the spirits, you need a bottle, stay boozing. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. I see some of my worst enemies live right around me and look just like me. I know what Dirty Moors, yeah. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I'm saying I know what Dirty Moors did, I know what Dirty Moors did. I'm going at dirty rappers, lynching Dirty Moors too. Hiding literature that Drew wrote to warn you. They claim to make you Muslim and make you sovereign. With paperwork and filings, if he out there robbing. They don't care about his words, throw it out like garbage. Or throw it at you when you're active, not passive. When they wanna talk a bounce like off a trampoline mattress. Treat them like a vamp or a teen actress. Get stamped with the brand like a mean savage. This Inquisition divine, all others average. Millennium Renaissance, heroes in our classes. Fed up with the czar controlling facets. Ask if they heard about Moors, they say no. But Masons, they obviously know. Down the handshakes and rituals with skull and bones. They even know about owls burning Bohemian Grove. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. Dirty Moors killed Drew. I read the FBI papers on loyal Moors, emergency fund rapers, Moorish literature and divine ballot changes. Might as well say Drew Ali was born in a manger. Prophet puts poison aside and his food smelled danger. Got me treating every Moor like a stranger. Grand Sheik Ponkin stumbling drunk in their fairs. What was proclaimed for every meeting was not read. Some Moors are so active, Prophet can't be dead. Thanks Moorish teachers away, I can't be led. Actions speak, then I consider what's said. And what's said was study, then study yourself. Honest to the Prophet, noble Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. Everybody wants to be just like Drew Ali, but nobody wants to care about Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did.
This is all 9 live, synchronized in perfect step, time after time, averting certain death before you leave. Must relieve karmic debt, which beget this war within us. C-Tech best, dust off records, our forebearers left. Put the needle to the groove, return to their mindset. Download begins, rewind cassette. Time is death, so then kill your clocks. This the will of Allah, filling you all to the rim, and then some till it spills and it falls over all facets of the masses. Transactions composed in maxims, revising your cannons. Drove past heaven, it was littered with abandoned mansions. So I adverse possessed like 5 or 6. Gave them back the addresses. I got family moving in. Forget the madness, let the reversion begin.
Drew Ali the mastermind, other leaders asinine. Never dropping facts, use emotions to pass the time. Never make it on my shrine. Kundalini up the spine, halo glow to aftershock. Make you see the sign of times. Beeline to bloodline, Aquarian age flood minds. Rhyme like a plumb line. Sometimes it's bud time, rock mid-range deadly, all around the foul line. Playback, I'm front line, Moorish is my guideline. Step and cause a fault line, throw your service offline. Watch them get outshine, cross me like a state line, get cut like a break line. F you and your concubine, strangle with a fishing line. When I help is genuine, always from the heart, all chakras are intertwined. Self you must redefine, more from the civil line, not the clandestine. Stake a vamp at chest line, sun stay stationary, shadow left behind. Say you don't want to, not that you have no sign. See good in everything and how you must train the mind. Give out some love and find peace sublime. Water and the key lime keeps the body alkaline. Law should remain divine, not too much maritime. Get all 13 journals of the Moorish paradigm. Israelites from Saraline, my path is the narrow line. Thought you had the upper hand, I saw it like a tarot line.
I'm painting with the big P in game 6. Unity about as crucial as game 6 of the finals. I'm glowing like I won the title, but Ellen Beta noble titles. Don't worship humans, that's a false idol. Heavenly vibes coming from my recital. Middle fingers to connivers and instigators. The truth to revive you like the liberators. So this a pump to the chest. Utilize what's useful and throw away the rest. My vegan ways have put the beef to rest. My calling got directed like receptionist. So think mother every time you see a crest. The Moors is here to put that bullshit to rest. So think mother every time you see a crest. The Moors is here to bring that bullshit to rest.
When I step in the center, they can tell I'm a winner, live my life right. Thank God, Lord, I'm not a sinner, live my life like I'm passing through time. Disastrous crimes, you killing up my people, I'm asking you back, that's why.
This is all 9 live, synchronized in perfect step, time after time, averting certain death before you leave. Must relieve karmic debt, which beget this war within us. C-Tech best, dust off records, our forebearers left. Put the needle to the groove, return to their mindset. Download begins, rewind cassette. Time is death, so then kill your clocks. This the will of Allah, filling you all to the rim, and then some till it spills and it falls over all facets of the masses. transactions composed in maxims, revising your cannons. Drove past heaven, it was littered with abandoned mansions where adverse possessed like 5 or 6. Gave them back the addresses. I got family moving in. Forget the madness, let the reversion begin.
True Ali the mastermind, other leaders asinine. Never dropping facts, use emotions to pass the time. Never make it on my shrine. Kundalini up the spine, halo glow to aftershine. Make you see the sign of time.
This is all 9 lives, synchronized in perfect step, time after time, averting certain death before you leave. Must relieve karmic debt, which beget this war within us. C-Tech best, dust off records, our forebearers left. Put the needle to the groove, return to their mindset. Download begins, rewind cassette. Time is death, so then kill your clocks. This the will of Allah, filling you all to the rim, and then some till it spills and it falls over all facets of the masses. Transactions composed in maxims, revising your cannons. Drove past heaven, it was littered with abandoned mansions where adverse possessed like 5 or 6. Gave them back the addresses. I got family moving in. Forget the madness, let the reversion begin.
True Ali the mastermind, other leaders asinine. Never dropping facts, use emotions to pass the time. Never make it on my shrine. Kundalini up the spine, halo glow to aftershine. Make you see the sign of times. Beeline to bloodline, Aquarian age flood minds. Rhyme like a plumb line. Sometimes it's bun time, rock mid-range deadly, all around the foul line. Playback on front line, Moorish is my guideline. Step and cause a fault line, throw your service offline. Watch them get outshine, cross me like a state line, get cut like a break line. F you and your concubine, strangle with a fishing line. When I help is genuine, always from the heart, all chakras are intertwined. Self you must redefine, more from the civil line, not the clandestine. Stake a vamp at chest line, sun stay stationary, shadow left behind. Say you don't want to, not that you have no sign. See good in everything and how you must train the mind. Give out some love and find peace sublime. Water and the key lime keeps the body alkaline. Law should remain divine, not too much maritime. Get all 13 journals of the Moorish paradigm. Israelites from Saraline, my path is the narrow line. Thought you had the upper hand, I saw it like a tarot line.
I'm painting with the big P in game 6. Unity about as crucial as game 6 of the finals. I'm glowing like I won the title, but Ellen Beta noble titles. Don't worship humans, that's a false idol. Heavenly vibes coming from my recital. Middle fingers to connivers and instigators. The truth to revive you like the liberators. So this a pump to the chest. Utilize was useful and throw away the rest. My vegan ways have put the beef to rest. My calling got directed like receptionist. So think mother every time you see a crest. The Moors is here to put that bullshit to rest. So think mother every time you see a crest. The Moors is here to bring that bullshit to rest.
When I step in the center, they can tell I'm a winner, live my life right. Thank God, log, I'm not a sinner, live my life like I'm passing through time. Disastrous crimes, you killing up my people, my mask and your bad is why. You feeling the energy rise, because we open the eyes. We see the open skies and all them cop picking lies. That's how I battle enemies, I be using my energy. I move like the centipede, in the mirror see tending me. Pay attention to tendencies, trying to mess up the chemistry. We can be one big family. I do it for the nation. How many gon' stand with me? I got the prophet up front and you're mad at me. Can't love a man that look like you, but it's sad to see. I'm just acting like the children watching, and it has to be. Nationality got me feeling like a dad to beat. Grass sheep provide the beat, and I just had to bring the heat. Khalifa society, Canaanland Moors, Moorish connection, rise of the Moors, 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 Moors.
Here we go. Raka! North Star! That way. And North Star's that way. Canaanland Moors. Read RVP every day. Okay. Uplift the V cause we all base. We enforce the law and we obey. Forefathers from before and still today. Reading my Quran and my Torah. Universal laws in more ways. Read 4 chapters, receive it 4 ways. Great divine love rules our verse. Before I circle blocks, man, I circle 7s first. You bust the image, but your rhymes hurt. Declare 13 disrespected earth. Love, but it's all in God's plan. Today's mathematics don't judge a man. Unity of life, embodiment of truth. I'm responsible for every deed, cause I seen the proof. Noble Drew X. Do I have to draw it out for you? Cause nationality is not a color I can use. Jerry Spruce, standing on my square, even without shoes. On the high authority, spirit of blue. Marcus Garvey, whirlwind ×2. The world's in the wind when the trumpet blew.
Stand up, go into your bathroom. If you got a big floor to ceiling, cut the light on and stand and take a good hard look at yourself. You are the worst government, you know, and it took me a long time to get to understand that concept. I self-law am master. If I can govern myself, if I can govern my household, that's what I should be doing. Why should I walk out of my door and then leave everything that I know about myself in the house to go out and adopt something that I have no knowledge thereof? No sense. So we need to stop asking that question. I ask myself this question: if not me, then who?
Death and wisdom, my friends, intelligent creatures, guardians of sacred knowledge, Olmecan features, secrets of the afterlife, manifest the present day. Dirty Moors and scoundrels lose their heads in a pleasant way. Deceit and deception, negative past thoughts, keeps awareness on point, spirit messages never off, inner realizations, encounter the higher selves, next plane existence, explains my consistence. Without a foe you never know, so past most resistant. Divinity, my twin flame, side chick and mistress, metaphysic, kabbalistic, almaroc mystic, patriarch, papistics, make my thoughts sadistic, so indigenous, call me Americanistic, invoking the ancestors, Saracen cryptic, suns on rotation, flows ecliptic, shatter all illusions, reveal the realistic, sitting in the dark, holding the light marvelous, recognize the artifice, skin so carbonous, hair so antenna, I feel them from Vienna, myriad of virtues, lessons, and reptilian henna and
Raka North Star. That me. And what's that step? Canaanland moves. Read our VP every day. Uplift the V cause we all base. We enforce the law and we obey. Forefathers from before and still today. Reading my Quran and my Torah. Universal laws in more ways. Read 4 chapters, receive it 4 ways. Great divine love rules our verse. Before I circle blocks, man, I circle 7s first. You bust the image, but your rhymes hurt. Declare 13 disrespected earth. Love, but it's all in God's plan. Today's mathematics don't judge a man. Unity of life, embodiment of truth. I'm responsible for every deed, cause I seen the proof. Noble Drew X. Do I have to draw it out for you? Cause nationality is not a color I can use. Jerry Spruce, standing on my square, even without shoes. On the high authority, spirit of blue. Marcus Garvey, whirlwind ×2. The world's in the wind when the trumpet blew.
Stand up, go into your bathroom. If you got a big floor to ceiling, cut the light on and stand and take a good hard look at yourself. You are the worst government, you know, and it took me a long time to get to understand that concept. I self-law am master. If I can govern myself, if I can govern my household, that's what I should be doing. Why should I walk out of my door and then leave everything that I know about myself in the house to go out and adopt something that I have no knowledge thereof? No sense. So we need to stop asking that question. I ask myself this question: if not me, then who?
death and wisdom, my friends, intelligent creatures, guardians of sacred knowledge, Olmec features, secrets of the afterlife manifest the present day. Dirty Moors and scoundrels lose their heads in a pleasant way. Deceit and deception, negative past thoughts keeps awareness on point. Spirit messages never off. Inner realizations encounter the higher selves. Next plane existence explains my consistence. Without a foe, you never know. So past most resistant. Divinity, my twin flame, side chick and mistress. Metaphysic, Kabbalistic, Almaroc mystic, patriarch, papistics, make my thoughts sadistic, so indigenous, call me Americanistic, invoking the ancestors, Cyrus and cryptic, suns on rotation, flows ecliptic, shatter all illusions, reveal the realistic, sitting in the dark, holding the light marvelous, recognize the artifice, skin so carbonous, hair so antenna, I feel them from Vienna, myriad of virtues, lessons, in reptilian henna, enlightenment seekers won't find it in mainstream, focus as a laser, stay balanced like a beam. Not even a gymnast. Whenever I flip this, as above, so below, get out when within this. Don't think I'm a slave, cause I speak in English. Drew, I'll leave the water, watch your flames get extinguished. Living in your higher, lower self is relinquished. Reputation of master teachers, call it distinguished.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Gates Cemetery, February the 4th days. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence and law may civil literal lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. I'll keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mixing with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets told me upright, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm Salt Bay, repping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, Deja Vu, Roman J. Israel. Had no but I lay in plain sight, but people still can't see it. So the snake's still showing up, stakes still high, so the race still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we not slowing up. Born in the manger, sworn to be savior. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the death dip in slavery. Looking for light, the book of Genesis. Astroplane entrances, invoke the nemesis. Abstract images of past lives kicking in. Danger, running for your life. Finish him.
Norris or Moor, key man or oracle, using trinity powers, decipher allegorical, lost and metaphorical, holy books are metaphysic, fact slap a dirty Moor or a Drew Ali critic, calling him Thomas or Walter and get your face caved.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Gates Cemetery, February the 4th days. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence and law may civil literal lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. I'll keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mixing with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets told me upright, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm Salt Bay, repping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, Deja Vu, Roman J. Israel. Had no but I lay in plain sight, but people still can't see it. So the snake's still showing up, stakes still high, so the race still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we not slowing up. Born in the manger, sworn to be savior. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the death dip in slavery. Looking for light, the book of Genesis. Astroplane entrances, invoke the nemesis. Abstract images of past lives kicking in. Danger, running for your life. Finish him.
Norris or Moor, key man or oracle, using trinity powers, decipher allegorical, lost and metaphorical, holy books are metaphysic, fact slap a dirty Moor or a Drew Ali critic, calling him Thomas or Walter and get your face caved, or cut like a close shave, drowned in my brainwaves, squash my heat waves, activating Kundalini, Abyssinia invaded by Mussolini, Selassie I in exile. exile. Reptile in Genesis, niggas appearing real. All I see is false evidence. They are feminists, stomped on by elephants. More like we're prejudiced, but want Moorish benefits. When you feel the cold magnetic resonance, Apis horns of the sacred book all maleficent. Great cosmic mothers, return to blessedness, no pestilence. Ace all the testaments, tap into remembrance, never to forget again. Use energy right, not put spell effects on men. Wandering the earth plane with more they live shades, keeps you a mental slave as the horizon fades. It's been decades since Christian crusades, not enough rebellions, too many vigil bouquets. Holding on to the fence, burning on doomsday. War ruled by Mars, it might be on a Tuesday.
Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick. What we do here is we add some common sense thinking to everyday situations or comments that may arise. Want to give it a try?
Bet they won't. Honors to all the Moors worldwide. Honors. Bet they won't give it a try. Supreme honors to all the Moors in the chat. See, we're at Canaanland Moors 2, so make sure you spread the word, subscribe. Somebody snitched. So good thing we have the backup. You already know they can't stop what's going on. And then also, just for the fact that it's Taurus season right now, well, you're gonna get it. All you are gonna get it. All you whoever's, don't worry, you're gonna get it. Goring you people now, since you want to play around. Don't worry. Everybody had their time. We have our time now. So don't complain. You don't hear any complaining from anybody. Because we already know all of us are one of the 12 tribes, of Israel. And we're not no Hebrew Israelites either, even though we're one of the 12 tribes of Israel. Right? So it's our tribe's time now. So whoever had their little time, whoever's time's to go, you wait your turn. And then all the people who had their time, you had your time already. So it's our time now. So the 12 powers. Metaphysically, the number 12 always represents a state of spiritual completion. Always. Since 12, completion. Not just completion, spiritual completion. You already know 9 is the completion. So you're going into other dimensions now. This is true for the 12 tribes of the Hebrew Bible, as it is for the 12 disciples of the New Testament, so everybody should know what's up. I don't care what religion you're claiming. So you see 12, that's spiritual completion. We're not talking about people at the table and pass me the butter and all that stuff. The hell out of here. They represent the principal qualities that constitute the Christ, our true spiritual identity. No, the Christ. The Christ? The same guy that they put on crosses and all that stuff? No, that's not guy. That's you, dummy. Christ isn't some guy out there walking around. That's you. Wake up, dummy. Remember, we're not just talking about identity. We're talking about spiritual identity. Remember when we said completion? We're not talking about completion. We're talking about spiritual completion. Right? We're following this theme. So don't debate Moors. Debate the facts. Debate the science. Debate the metaphysics. Don't talk BS to Moors. You know exactly what we're talking about when we say what we're talking about. Since the tribes appear more earlier in the story, they represent those qualities in less precise, less powerful ways. It is therefore much more effective to work with the 12 disciples as guides to your own inner dwelling power. These are the tribes and their metaphysical meanings according to the interpretations of Charles Fillmore. Asher, understanding. Benjamin, faith. Dan, judgment. Gad, power. Issachar, zeal. Joseph, imagination. Judah, praise. Levi, love. Naphtali, strength. Reuben, discernment. Simeon, receptivity. Zebulun, order. And as you noted, the two sons of Joseph were also given tribal identities according to the final blessing of Israel before his death. Ephraim metaphysically represents will. Manasseh, understanding. So go play with somebody else with your 12 tribes BS. We're talking about the 12 powers. If anybody's talking about 12. And as soon as they start talking about 12 and they're talking about some apples and all this type of stuff, you know that they're a fraud and they're playing it. Because 12 powers is you. So you better complete self. Stop playing games. You know, to each his own though. To each his own. To each his own. So I just want to talk about some people after Noble Drew Ali who claim that they're Noble Drew Ali and all that. The people who say, oh, Moors, they're confused because, you know, reincarnated prophet is a title. And that's a title, and then he's demonstrating the title reincarnated Noble Drew Ali. So when Noble Drew Ali passed away, and we have a charter, and the charter, and they start making up all types of whatever to try and convince you. Try to convince you that these people didn't sell out. That these people aren't traitors. Honors to Noble Drew Ali. Because everybody took what he brought and ran off with it to go do their own thing, instead of staying true to the cause. Everybody after Noble Drew Ali. And it's evident by when we go look up Moors and the stuff that is coming up more than anybody else is Noble Drew Ali. You're supposed to be punching up Moors, and so many Moors that done so much work supposed to be popping up. Still, 100 years later, we're punching up Moors, and the only thing coming up is Noble Drew Ali. Looking out there, you know, Moorish anything out there. Everything out there, some Negro, black, colored, modern, foreign, whoever. And then when you look around Noble Drew Ali's time, everything's Moorish. Everything's so Moorish, they're talking about in the oral statement. So, some Arabs went outside and called a Moor in a store. They went outside. This is Noble Drew Ali's time. They went outside, got a Moor from off the street. Right, you go outside right now, pull a Moor in here, wherever you're at. Just go outside and grab a Moor and bring them to wherever you're at. Bet you can't. So Drew Ali had this thing on lockdown. And they got him out the way so they could play their little authority games and pretend like there's some authority. instead of just sticking with the program of what was left for them to follow. This stuff is not hard to figure out. The problem is that people sold out. And we're not talking about, the Panther is sold out and the UNIA is sold out. No, we're talking about Noble Drew Ali right now. Forget all them other people who you heard about or who they talk about. We're not talking about them. We're talking about Noble Drew Ali, the founder of Islam in America. There was nobody teaching Islam to Asiatics in America before Noble Drew Ali. Everybody knows this. It's not something Moors say. You look this up in an encyclopedia, they'll tell you that Noble Drew Ali is the founder of Islam. Founder. It's real interesting. It's real interesting. Because we're going to play games. Going back to playing games. They love to play games. I don't know why they play games, but they love to play games. Right. This is from the Department of Supreme Wisdom. Department of Supreme Wisdom. The whole Quran. I put out the whole Quran. The whole Quran brought by Noble Drew Ali. Right? Have his picture on the front and all that. The Department of Supreme Wisdom. Page 13. Following Ali's death, the temple split into competing factions. Two members claimed to embody Ali's reincarnated spirit and teachings, John Givens L. and David Ford L., later known as W.D. Fard or W. Fard Muhammad. Fard went on to form the beginnings of the Nation of Islam in Detroit and later Chicago and Milwaukee. Elijah Muhammad and Noble Drew Ali's former chauffeur, John Givens L., became two of his most famous and influential ministers. His supreme minister, Elijah Muhammad, would later expand the Nation of Islam after studying under the working of Fard, who Elijah would later identify as Allah, God in person. When Fard disappeared in 1934, Muhammad was left in the position of leadership. Though some members of the Nation of Islam often deny connections with Noble Drew Ali's movement, the two organizations share several principles. For example, Fard resumed Ali's method of Islam as a central focus, continuing to use Ali's term Asiatic. But then they put the black on it. So what this is saying, in the early times of Nation of Islam, they didn't say black Asiatic. They called us Asiatic. Why? Because they were copying off of Noble Drew Ali after he died. After he's gone, people are popping up, calling themselves prophet. After he's gone, people are popping up, calling themselves the reincarnation of him. Remember, Fard resumed Ali's method of Islam as a central focus, right? So the Islamic Nation of Islam, right? I self one master. Because you're it. By the time they got the lessons, they're supposed to be teaching people they're it. They're not supposed to talk about some man in Allah in person came to them. That was Drew Ali. He already did that. I mean, another guy came after Noble Drew Ali came, and this guy is the real guy because what? Because Noble Drew Ali didn't know what he was talking about? How? What do you mean he didn't know what he was talking about? So we got to follow this guy over here now? How come this guy over here is not following what Noble Drew Ali said? That's what we should be questioning. Required his followers to have holy names. So in the early Nation of Islam, when you join the Nation of Islam, you get a holy name. That's why certain people weren't Cassius X for long. You ever notice how some people are still X, while some guy came and in 2 days he had Ali? One day he was Cassius X, and then he's Muhammad Ali after that. And other people are 89X, and then they're holding that as if that's something, that's a position. You mean your name's X? What's that supposed to mean? And set up temples of Islam in various cities for his followers. In his Theology of Time lecture series, Elijah Muhammad quotes Fard as stating that Marcus Garvey and Noble Drew Ali were the forerunners of his work. That's not a fraud. That's not a fraud. Because Noble Drew Ali said before Fard Muhammad said that Marcus Garvey and Noble Drew Ali are his forerunner. This is what Noble Drew Ali said before him. In these modern days, there came a forerunner that was divinely prepared by the great God Allah, and his name is Marcus Garvey, who did, taught, and warned the nations of the earth to prepare to meet the coming prophet, who was to bring the true and divine creed of Islam, and his name is Noble Drew Ali, who was prepared and sent to this earth by Allah to teach the old-time religion and the everlasting gospel to the sons of men, that every nation shall and must worship under their own vine and fig tree, and return to their own, and be one with their Father God Allah. So if they knew that before Noble Drew Ali, before Fard Muhammad, they knew that. So if they knew that before Fard Muhammad, how is it after Noble Drew Ali they're popping up and they're quoting that, oh yeah, Fard said that that the forerunners of us is Marcus Garvey and Noble Drew Ali? That's obvious and apparent fraud, because that's a lie. So if you fell for the lie, who's the dummy, the liar or you? Got played. And I know you think that, you know, you think that you'll just accept the reality that your own sold you the hell out. You just accept it. That your own that you sold your own sold you out. Patrick Bowen, A History of Conversion to Islam. The history of conversion to Islam. The Givens L faction. No information about John Givens L's pre-MSTA background can be gleaned from the non-redacted portions of the MSTA FBI files. And the existing data about his early years in the movement sometimes conflicts. An example of a conflict can be seen in the Works Progress Administration's early 1940s main report about the history of the MSTA, which apparently had two versions printed, with the only difference between them being the name of the man who was said to be Drew Ali's chauffeur, John Givens L. and Steve Givens L., which was perhaps the results of the fact that the man may have used both names. The report obscures the man's background further with its claims about Givens L's activities after Drew Ali's death and are not consistent with other evidence. The WPA report holds that Givens took part in activities related to the death of Claude Green, and for his role in this, he was sentenced to an insane asylum for several years until 1941, when, with the headquarters of his group in East 40th Street in Chicago, he was claiming to be the true leader of the MSTA. A newspaper article from the fall of 1929 tells us that Givens L. was one of the men who had been sent by Ira Johnson Bay to break into the home of Payne, and that it was for this act that he had been initially arrested, although consistent with the WPA account. That same article tells us that because authorities considered him to be insane, Givens L. was sent to the psychiatric hospital to have his case evaluated. In any event, Givens L. did not remain in that psychiatric hospital for several years. The FBI's investigation revealed that he ended up serving only 6 months in a local jail. Upon his release, his family and possibly a few others began to form a following around him. Givens L. claimed that on August 7th, 1929, Drew Ali's spirit passed into his body. So he was now, as many of his followers called him, Noble Drew Ali, or the Prophet reincarnated. Of course, his group saw itself as the true continuation of Drew Ali's movement, and so it went by the same title used by Drew Ali in his last years, MSTA, leaving off the ink used by Kurtman Bay's faction. Now, why all this is interesting. Wow, this is interesting. Like, this is the same book. Richard Dingle L. claimed to be the third reincarnated Noble Drew Ali, whereas his brother Timothy asserted that he, like the original Noble Drew Ali, was a mental warrior, and as such, his proper hangout was the courtroom. It's his proper hangout. Now, peep game now. Peep game. Courtroom is their stuff, right? This Holy Quran, this is Dr. Malachi York L. now, with the Nuwapians. This Holy Quran, Circle 7, was compiled and put out in collaboration with Brother Eloah A. L. Emmanuel, a member of the Moor Science Temple since his birth, of a family of the original and registered on April 25th, 1976 AD by the Moorish School of Law and History by Grand Sheikh Richardson Dingle L. Certificate sealed and signed by the Divine Minister Sheikh Alfred Collins L. Director and National Registrar Sheikh Clarence R. Reynolds L. I release this with the total sincerity in hopes to keep the legacy of the Moor Science Temple of America alive, 1996 AD. Remember, this is 96. And remember, we're talking about a third reincarnation of Noble Drew Ali. Right? So Drew Ali's spirit's just jumping from one Moor to another Moor. Right? This is how the stuff is going. They have third reincarnations of Noble Drew Ali. Now again. We don't have a horse in these people's racing. We're Drew Ali, and that's it. We're Drew Ali. And we're not faction Moors. Who we're with is Noble Drew Ali. That's who we're with. And then we're with other Moors who are with Noble Drew Ali. Because you already know these people sold out your stuff. And they corrupted your stuff to the core. Deliberately. Purposely. And remember, these are the same Moors who we had to look into the mail slot for them to open the door when we went to Pittsburgh. Right? Brother Amazite could vouch. Brother Yusuf could vouch. And somebody else was there. They could vouch. And they had us stand outside instead of inviting us in the temple. They had us stand outside and talk to them. These are supposed to be Moorish Americans with a temple. And we're some out-of-town Moors that came to their temple. And they came outside because we looked in the mail slot. That's the only reason they came outside. The Moor said, let me look in the mail slot. And these Moors are in there. And then they have a big colossal picture of Gibbons L and some little stamp of Noble Drew Ali next to it. Talking about they honor Noble Drew Ali. Right? They know what it is that they did. They know what they were doing. They know exactly what they were doing. Because that's the prophecy. The new Moors with their eyes wide open. How come your temple has nudie windows on it? What is going on here? Where's the sign? How come there's no sign on this place? This is Moor Science Temple. What you mean we drove by this thing 10 times before we said, hey, is this it? with the nudie bar windows? This is it? This isn't it. There's no sign on this. What is this? This is what these people did with your movement. This is what they did. Playing authority games. As if they have some type of authority. Don't worry. It's Taurus season. We got you. Receiving instruction from reincarnated prophet John Givens L., Grand Sheik Richardson Dingle L. met with General Hershey and the Colonel Swartz in Washington, D.C. in 1944, leading to the formation of the Moorish National Bureau of Vital Statistics. Grand Sheik Richardson Dingle L. requested all Moors be naturalized according to our authority. By these actions, the national side, Grand Sheik Richard Dickinson L. became the first so-called Negro black to register with the United States government as a descendant of Moroccans born in America. But the United States is not a government. That's a private, foreign, bankrupt, insolvent European corporation. Oh, so Richard Dingleton L. became the first black guy to register as a Moor. This is their logic. Their founder guy, that's a L, is the first black guy. This is in U.S. records. The first black guy to register as a descendant of Moors. And then all the other ones behind them, they're going to naturalize too because they're black. Right? They got L and all that stuff, but they're black. And then they're going to go to U.S. Corporation to set up a national bureau of whatever. Go pull that stuff up. Go pull that stuff up now. And then why aren't you counted? If that's where it's at. How come you're not counted? Oh, because that's bankrupt and insolvent. And they're not a government. And as soon as you start going up there pretending like they're government, there they go stealing your birthright. Because you gave it to them by abandoning. And talk about some naturalizes the national side. And Juali didn't say naturalize anywhere. Anywhere. There's nowhere in Noble Juali's literature that he's talking about naturalize somebody. Or you're supposed to get naturalized because you're Negro, black, colored. No, those are names given to slave by slaveholders. We're not slave. We're not slave. So we're not black guys. We're not a slave. We're not Negro, black, or colored. How is it in the 70s we're black with L and we're naturalizing, going through some Moorish vital statistics BS? Remember, these are people who, their founder, they come from the people who sold out Noble Juali. Yeah. What does register mean in law? Yeah, one of you Moors, check in your dictionary and just put register in the chat. What that means in law. Playing games. Moor Science Temple, the Divine and National Movement of North America, Inc. So they didn't ink Moor Science Temple of America to stay with the founder of Noble Juali because they're the true way that Noble Juali wanted it, but they're Divine and National Movement, Inc. And they're talking about the authority to naturalize. Do you understand that they sold you out? And again, don't be fooled, because the flag is on a pole and the poles are crossing. So the Moorish flag is actually on the right. And the corpse flag is on the left. They're lying. Because why didn't they just put the flag straight in order to have the Moorish flag on the left and the stars and stripes on the right? Just like the Great Seal. The pyramid seal is on the left and the eagle is on the right. But they're the authority, though. And then the Moors who are saying Noble Drew Ali, oh yeah, we're sovereign citizens and we're anti-government and all that. We're renegade Moors and street Moors and all that. They're the temple Moors. You've been lying to you, playing you too while they're lying to you, playing you while they're lying to you. So all these ones who let the sister put the sister on the ground and all that stuff, Noble Drew Ali's holding the sister, they put the unconscious sister on the ground, talking about they're going for their sword. What do you mean you're going for? What do you mean you're going for a sword? Yeah, pretending to be the prophet. Are you holding the penis instead of holding up the mother? Any weapon, a gun, that's it. Like the bullets are the barrel. Right? You know where you people are at. You put the sister on the ground, talking about draw your sword, and then on top of that, you're behind her. You're using her as a shield and all that. Are you using the mother as a shield? This is what you wanted, right? How are you defending her, but you're not in front? If I have arrows, how you stopping me from getting that mother? How are you behind? How is she unconscious behind? She's conscious in front, and you're supposed to be defending her. Really? That makes sense to you? Does that make sense? Whatever more said. Register. To record formally and exactly, to enroll, to enter precisely in a list or the like. An officer authorized by law to keep a record called a register or registry. Are those people government? Are they government? And if they're government, if they're claiming U.S is the government, they're part and partial and all that stuff. Now, if that's not a government, then anything that they told them, that's a fraud, right? If they don't have the authority to tell them, here, you have the authority to register these Moors and keep a record of these Moors. If they're a fraud, then doesn't that mean the stuff that came from them is a fraud? Because these Moors didn't need the authority anyway. They didn't need to go to U.S to do anything. What are they going to U.S to get something for? If it's like that, just do what it is that you're going to them for. What are you going to them for? So you're gonna go to Lincoln Cemetery because they can't bury him at Burr Oak Cemetery because they bury at Burr Oak Cemetery, they're playing themselves. So there's the Lincoln Cemetery. This is why they're going with the Lincoln stuff. Just giving the old Moors and all them, right? Naturalized Moors. He's doing it the real way that Noble Drew Ali. And then they start talking about all this Lincoln stuff instead of Noble Drew Ali. Oath of Reconstruction and oath of amnesty and oath of all this BS because of Lincoln. And then Noble Drew Ali has a little plaque, the honor and respect and humility and humbleness and everything that you expect from a prophet. Right? The place where they lay that husk, there's just a little plaque there because that's a husk. It doesn't need no apartment like the Moor said. Right, these Moors transition, they have an apartment. Put them in an apartment. That's how humble these Moors are. That's how humble they are. Where's the other one that we just got? This is how humble they are when they transition. This is their humility, the prophet. They're Noble Drew Ali reincarnated. Right? But this is what they have. They're the prophet, though. When you check the prophet's stuff, it's a little plaque. A little plaque. Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Picture on it and all that. And this is what these Moors have. This is what they have. This is what they're honoring. These egomaniacs who they're honoring. These people have mausoleums. Haven't done jack for the Moorish movement. No, Noble Drew Ali? Oh, a little plaque. I mean, that's not humility. That's the prophet. He was the man. If anybody should have a mausoleum, it should be him. He should have his own damn graveyard. Nobody else in there, just him. Played you have mausoleums. Talking about the honored Noble Drew Ali. During the second annual convention of the Moor Science Temple of America, Givens L would once again make his declaration of reincarnation. It was September 19th, 1929. The Moorish convention was entering its final hours. Lengthy discussions had been held concerning the prophet's last instructions. It was around this time that Givens L entered the convention hall, walking straight to the platform, seating himself in the vacant chair, and declared, "I am back." He then said, "I am Prophet Noble Drew Ali reincarnated and Prophet Noble Drew Ali the founder. We two are one and the same." A silence fell over the convention hall. Nevertheless, by the end of September, a number of subordinate temples would begin to follow Givens L, the Noble Drew Ali reincarnated. And Moors tried that BS at lectures. But master teachers up there giving a lecture, and then they want to come up there and say, "Well, no, I don't think that is right." Muftis just grab these Moors and get them out of here. And the show shall go on. Back to class. And the people that were around Noble Drew Ali at that time. Because remember, this is second convention. This is after they murdered him. And they're divvying up all the stuff. Moore comes in the convention talking about he's Noble Drew Ali. He's back. He didn't say, "Oh, you people are traitors and sellouts. We know you stole the treasury money and all that stuff." He didn't go into any of that. Where's all the Moorish businesses and all that? Where'd all this stuff go? He didn't go into any of that. He's going there, go sit in Noble Drew Ali's chair, talking about Noble Drew Ali's back. According to his death certificate filed by Dr. Payne L., cause of death was tuberculosis bronchopneumonia. The body was placed in the Frank Edwards Undertaking Parlor, 4136 Michigan Avenue. Funeral services were held Friday, February 25th, 1929 at 1:30 p.m. in the Pythian Temple Building, 37th Place and State Street. Representatives from offices all over the United States, so now they know it's the United States, right, attended the Prophet's last rites. The body was finally laid to rest in Borough Cemetery, Acacia Lawn, Lot 44, Grave 7. Now, this is Noble Drew Ali. Professor Drew, the Egyptian adept. I am a Muslim. Professor Drew is a man who was born with divine power. He was taught by the adepts of Egypt. I have the secret of destroying the germs of tuberculosis and cancer of the lungs in 10 to 30 days. Your lungs can, and a very strict examination that the germs are entirely destroyed. Also destroy the germs of eating gout, cancer, gout, rheumatism, lumbago, heart trouble, female diseases, and serious affections of the body. Call at once, adults and children, and be relieved of your sufferings. If you have any doubts about my treatments, you can be healed before $1 is paid with security. Through these divine treatments, there has been great success of contagious and long-standing disease which have been cured in 2 to 3 days. Also give divine instructions and interpret the Bible from Genesis to Revelations. Also has the 18 years of Christ that is sent to your holy table for all those who desire to know more about Jesus Christ. Professor Drew, the Egyptian adept, that's a Muslim. And he's curing tuberculosis. So how he die of that? How he die of that unless whoever filled out that death certificate is a sellout and a traitor? Something's not nodding. They try. They try. They try. But no matter what they do, they can't stop the prophet. No matter what they do, they can't stop him. Yep, must be at the funeral just watching everybody. Everybody's getting side-eye. All of them. Honors to all. Yeah, Moore died of everything he was curing. Crazy. 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 Honors to all the Moors worldwide. Supreme honors to all the Moors worldwide. You know that you're a Moor? Honors to you. Honors to you. Honors to Noble Drew Ali, our prophet. Noble Drew Ali. Noble Drew Ali. Honors to him, not reincarnated people. Not none of that. Noble Drew Ali, the prophet. Oh yeah, and the more visited the prophet's gravesite today, and let me know that he gave honors from all the Moors. So all the Moors went and did their visit today. He was there not just for himself. He was there for all the Moors, all the true and faithful Moors. If you've never been, who have been, it's been a while, who never got a chance to go, whatever. You got your honors delivered. Right. And we already know that there's a husk in a box. That's not what going there is for. Some husk in a box. Right. It's the principle of it. It's the ritual. It's the ritual. Supreme honors to all the Moors in the chat. And supreme love always. All the Tauruses, sharpen your horns. Not taking any BS for a month. You don't have to. It's your time now. Honors to you. Honors to the 12 powers. All the other signs in the zodiac. Honors to you. Noble Drew Ali is the man. Long live the empire. Love and peace, Moors. Islam.